smells really good. I can smell the steak.
That's it. Okay, so now we're going to try making the two different types of waves, okay? So what you're going to do is you are going to be on one side of the table, your partner's going to be on the other side of the table, okay? I want you to stretch your slinky out. So make a spot where nothing's going to touch your slinky. Ezekiel, you got to clear stuff off the table so nothing's going to touch the slinky. All right, so the first type of wave that we're going to try to make is a longitudinal wave. This type of wave is a little harder to make with a plastic slinky, but we can do it. So the first thing I want you to do is decide who's going to be the person that starts the wave. Only one person can start the wave. Wait until he gets back. Okay, so the person that starts the wave is going to, watch me up here, put it down on the table. The person that starts the wave is going to just simply push their hand straight towards you on the table. Okay? I go ahead and do it. The other person just sits still and watch what happens to the slinky. Push straight at it. Yep. Straight at it. You don't want it to go side to side too much. You want it to go straight as you can get it. Okay? Like this. Right? This is the person pushing, right? This is the person holding. Straight at it. That's it. That's all it's going to do. All right. Now, because these slinkies are really super lightweight, they're not very heavy, it's going really super fast, so it's kind of hard to see. Remember how the guy said they put the jelly babies on there to slow it down, right? If we could weight these a little bit, like if they were metal, it would go slower. You could see it better. What it's doing is the energy is passing straight through, like this. Then it bounces back. But the lighter it is, the faster that happens, okay? You're going to see a little bit of movement this way, but mostly it's going straight through and coming back really super fast, okay? Now, switch the person that's doing the moving. All right, the other person now is going to move their hand. Instead of going straight, watch, you're going to go like this, back and forth, and you're going to try to get a wave that looks like this. You're probably just going to get one. Nope. Nope. All right, look up here. This is called a transverse wave. It's called a transverse wave because instead of the wave moving straight across, the wave is going to go up and down, but because we have a really super light material we're using, you probably only notice one hump, right? Yeah. One hump, and then it goes back the other way. Up, down like this, right? So it's going up, down really fast because it's light. The heavier it is, the more of these things you're going to see. Okay? Play around with it for a minute. Everybody show me a longitudinal wave. That's the one where you just go straight at the person. Longitudinal wave. Push. It's a pulse, like this. Yep. Now show me a transverse wave. That's the back and forth. So it is lunchtime, and well, I have a few more minutes of lunch anyway. My planning time and my lunch back up to each other, so I just sort of like eat and work. I've been looking at what I'm doing this afternoon with my 8th graders. We have a lot of fun activities going on today. So this activity that I am looking at, I knew I wanted to do population simulation, but the one I did last year, I felt like it was a little bit too much to start out with. So I'm doing something as kind of like a stepping stone. But for Tuesday, we're talking about reproduction, you know. 2 are going to make something new. So we're doing evolution right now, and so we're talking about population evolution, so evolution genetics. So I have to review with my students the way that Mendelian genetics works and talk to them about preferred traits for natural selection. And then we're going to do this activity. It is like a game. It's called hallway moths. So I'm getting ready to add that into my canvas, but let me show you what it looks like. So in this activity, we read to the students about a real type of moth. It's called the peppered moth, and how the story of prior to the industrial age, the trees in the area were white with speckles of black. So the camouflage was ideal for peppered moths that were mostly white with speckles of black. So there were more of them. But then once factories built on a lot of the land, smog started to fill the area and the trees started to change color. So the moths that would survive and not be eaten by predators were the all black moths. So then, even though this was a more dominant trait, the recessive black moths became more plentiful in the area due to their ability to stay alive through camouflage. So then we do something that talks about, it kind of illustrates that same process. The students each get a paper that looks like this. They're going to use one of these moths and design it to be whatever they think would be good camouflage. And then the other one they're going to leave white. We're going to put them out in the hallway in various places and then send a group of students out to see how many they can get in 20 seconds and come back and see which ones they were able to capture. So whichever ones are captured are considered to have died, and then we look and see what's left and talk about what type of genetic changes we would see in the population based on the ones that were left to reproduce. So it's a great way to illustrate population genetics and how evolution of species can happen over time based on environment. So that's what I'm doing today for Tuesday for the 8th grade. For the 7th grade, we did candy, mitosis, and I talked about meiosis too, but I didn't make them do the stages twice. So there are some great videos, and I will link them down below, that show you how you can use, well, the one that we watched was the string and gummy worms, but I actually, instead of using string, had the kids use the pull apart Twizzlers because, you know, it's more fun to have the candy and then they can eat it afterwards. So I took them through the phases. In 7th grade, they don't have to know the names of the phases, but it's great to introduce them to it because they have to know that for their biology course at the high school. So it won't be the first time they've seen it when they get up to the high school. In the 8th grade, though, they need to know, like, you know, how that is going to affect the gene pool and what that does to the population. So for 7th grade, we just basically did the candy. We went through the stages. I had them watch the video once. Then the second time we watched the video, we stopped at each phase and they constructed the phase using their gummy worms as their chromosomes and the pieces of the pull apart Twizzlers as the nuclear membrane and then also the spindle apparatus. And so they learned how
one cell becomes two, and cloning and copying happens. So there's a really funny video clip. It's about the movie Multiplicity. If you haven't seen the movie Multiplicity and you are a middle or high school science teacher, you want to see it because it's hilarious. It's about cloning and what happens when you make a copy of a copy. And it's just really funny. There's a character on there that he is like the fourth copy, and he's really dumb. And so he does really stupid things. So we talk about how we have different types of reproduction of cells in our body because, you know, you can't just clone everything or we wouldn't be able to adapt to our environmental changes. So I'm going to show that to my 8th graders. It's a short clip, and I think they'll think it's amusing and pay attention then to the other stuff that I have to tell them about that. So this group that I have that's 8th graders this year, we didn't get to spend much time on heredity and genetics last year. We did go over the organelles of a cell, and then we had just like a little bit of time to talk about Punnett squares, so I really don't think they know that very well, so I'm gonna have to back up a little bit and show that to them on the board and walk them through that, so that they will have a working knowledge of that before we try to go into our population simulation. Then the next time that I work on it with that group, which won't be until the end of the week, we will work on, I will see that same group again because I'll see my other group tomorrow and Thursday. We're going to do survival of the fittest game. So that's another simulation, but that one's a little bit more complicated because it talks about lots of different traits and different environmental things. So I wanted to start with the simple one first, and then once we had done one simulation, then do the one that has like multiple traits interacting, and you know what that does to the population. So that's what I was up to. In 6th grade, I had a little bit more trouble coming up with my activity for Tuesday because we were studying waves and we just started. So what I ended up doing was just talking about the 2 major types of waves, longitudinal and transverse. And I got the slinkies out, and everybody had a slinky with their partner, and they got to try making different types of waves. And then we filled out a note sheet, and you know, it wasn't as much fun as what I did in the other classes, but I think they had fun just because they got to play with the slinkies. So, and we learned something. So my 8th grade class may be cut a little short because at 2:22 p.m. we're going to go have a 2-minute dance party in the hallway. So we will see what that's like, and whether I can get them back on track when we get back in. So not really sure how long I'm going to have my students' attention, but I'm ready and just got to go grab some things off the copier. I printed those moths out for them to design, and I'm super excited about doing the hallway moth game. I've never done this activity before, so it sounds like a lot of fun. I think the kids are going to have a good time with it, and I'm looking forward to this afternoon. So I've been snacking all morning. I'm just kind of tired. It's all been good snacks, healthy snacks in my diet that I brought, but usually I save a snack for the end of the day, and I don't have any left. So just think I'm going to get my water cup and fill it up before the kids get back in here and just drink a bunch of water the rest of the day and go home early today because I'm tired. And I was tired yesterday, went to the grocery late and put everything away, and now I'm just still kind of tired. So I think need to go home, watch the rest of The Bachelor tonight, and just kind of chill out for a while. So that's what's going on here. I'll let you go get everything set up. I will have kids in about 15 minutes, so I'll check in with you at the end of the day and let you know how it went. So it is now the end of the day. It was a successful Tuesday, 2's Tuesday. And as you can see, I did not make it to the end of the day with that floofy thing on. It started to get scratchy and hot at the end of the day, especially after we had our dance party. So a lot of other schools joined us in the state and had like a 2-minute dance party at 2:22 this afternoon. So we did like the Cupid shuffle in the hallway, and I was hot after I did that and scratchy, and I didn't want to wear it anymore. So, but it was fun while it lasted. So I'm looking, I got a whole bunch of lesson plans done. I am going to be out next week for 3 days because my husband and I are presenting at the NC Technology Conference. We are presenting on integrating reading in the science classroom with tech. So I'm going to be out on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to be in Raleigh, and that's about 3-ish hours away from here. So I'm working on my sub plans now because 3 days is a lot and I have 3 preps. So working on them, and I got the outline done. So now I will just have to start putting together some of the materials for that. But I'm looking actually right now, not for next week, but I'm looking for something that I need tomorrow for my stations. Hold on, I'm in my scary closet, which actually isn't too scary right now. It's not bad. See, down here is a little bit sketchy, but I can walk in here. So I'm looking for prisms. I should have, okay, there's magnets, motion forces. I'm not sure what's up there. I thought there was a light kit. Wait, what's this? S'mores maker, microscope, dissection, chemistry, properties of matter. Those down there are lab coats. I really thought I had like a light kit. This is weather. That's weather. Oh. It might be this one. I think it's that one right there. I'm going to see if I can't get that down.